think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We knew Crawford is a great fighter.
The comparison, listen, Crawford Mayweather would have been an amazing fight in their prime. Just like you insert Ray Leonard in there, just like you insert Ray Robinson in there. What a round robin that would have been.
He tried. You catch him, he want to catch you back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, he's not. Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
Canelo Alvarez recently weighed in on Terence Crawford's openness to facing Floyd Mayweather, and his comments caught everyone's attention. Canelo admitted that, at this stage, Crawford could very well dominate that matchup. He praised Crawford as the more complete fighter right now, and gave him full credit for everything he's accomplished. Canelo called Crawford's performances impressive, noting his sharp timing, technical mastery, and success across multiple weight classes. He added that both fans and analysts should recognize just how special Crawford's run has been, a testament to a fighter who's truly earned universal respect throughout the sport.
I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather. We knew Crawford is a great fighter, and I did what I supposed to do, right? I tried for every way, and I trained really hard, and he deserved all the credit. No, I try my best tonight, and I just cannot figure out the style.
Was it something specific, the movement or his speed or power, or what? Was there something you could put your finger on that gave you the most trouble?
Everything.
Okay.
He have everything. You know what? Sometimes you try and your body cannot go, right? That's my frustration. Maybe I can figure out Crawford, but my body cannot go anymore. So I try it, but my body just not let me go. And you need to accept it. That's it. He's a great fighter. He's a good fighter. He know how to move and everything.
Boxing analyst Garage Hackett weighed in on Canelo Alvarez's recent comments about Terence Crawford, drawing a sharp contrast between Canelo's loss to Floyd Mayweather years ago and Crawford's recent triumph over him. Hackett pointed out that when Canelo faced Mayweather, he was only 23, still developing his technique and experience in the ring. Crawford, on the other hand, met Canelo at his absolute peak, when the Mexican star had already matured into one of boxing's most complete and dominant fighters. That, Hackett argued, is what makes Crawford's win even more remarkable. He didn't beat a rising prospect. He beat the best version of Canelo Alvarez.
That what I think is, when Floyd beat me, I was 23, I wasn't polished. When Bud beat me, I was the man. I was the man. And he beat me fair and square. He beat me at my game and he beat me at his game. That's why Canelo said that. Do I believe that? It's tough to believe. We're not going to ever see Bud versus Floyd. And it's crazy. It's crazy because I would love to see that fight, but I know we're not going to see it. But I can only take Canelo's word because he's the man that's been in the ring with both of them. But I understand why he said it. I was a kid when I fought Floyd. He wasn't a kid literally, but he was young. He was young. There was a lot he didn't know. There was a lot he didn't understand about boxing that he later on learned and got better. But Bud beat the better version of me, even though it's the ran down version. I'm saying that because it is some wear and tear there with Canelo. I've been saying it the whole time. When a guy got almost 70 fights in current time, with all those big camps he's been doing and all that, trust me, it's some wear and tear there. I'm not making excuses for Canelo. I'm just saying. I do give Bud his credit, though, for beating Canelo. And Canelo understands I am a better fighter today than I was back then. But that's hard to say because Floyd, you know what I'm saying? I feel like Bud took maybe 20% of what Floyd did and added that to his repertoire for this fight. So that's why I'm saying it's tough to say that.
Joe Rogan shared his admiration for Terence Crawford's stunning victory over Canelo Alvarez, calling it one of the most extraordinary feats in recent boxing memory. He noted that Crawford, at 37 years old, jumped 2 full weight divisions to take on an elite opponent, a move that few fighters in history have dared to make, let alone succeed at. Rogan explained that what made the win so special wasn't just the result, But the context, a veteran champion stepping up in age and size, yet still outclassing one of the sport's most dominant figures. In Rogan's eyes, the performance sealed Crawford's place among boxing's all-time greats.
It's like you're watching, like, wow. Towards the end, towards the final rounds, he really started getting comfortable and really started putting it on him. I'm like, this is amazing.
You know, one of those rare, like, that's history, obviously, right? Watching somebody do, you shouldn't be able to do that. You shouldn't be able to fight at that weight for the first time ever.
Against one of the greatest
greatest of all time, fucking, and do what you did. It is beyond, like, my favorite, an outlier. You're beyond an outlier. You're an anomaly.
Yeah. Something special. And
something really special.
I believe he's 37.
Yeah. One of those where you shouldn't be able to do that by any account. By any account. 37, my body was so wrecked. I'm like, fuck you. You know, I could barely go bowling.
Paulie Malignaggi weighed in on the ongoing debate about who stands taller in boxing history, Floyd Mayweather or Terence Crawford. He acknowledged that it's a question that may never have a definitive answer, since both men represent different eras and face distinct challenges along the way. Malignaggi described the conversation as one of the sport's most fascinating discussions, fueled by passion rather than finality. He praised Mayweather for his flawless record and unmatched defensive genius, while also giving full credit to Crawford for conquering multiple divisions and consistently outclassing elite opponents. In Malignaggi's view, the true beauty lies in the debate itself, because as long as fans are arguing about greatness, boxing stays alive and vibrant.
154 pounders and it was in a young Canelo and a very tough Cotto who was punching very hard from 4 to 54. You know, remember Cotto had knocked out Delvin Rodriguez at 54. He'd still done some damage at 54, and I thought
won a title at 60.
Yeah, and I thought he knocked out Martinez at 60, and I thought he gave Mayweather a pretty good fight at 54. I don't know. I can't say I disagree or agree. I just think that Mayweather, because it's so far away, so long ago, you know, and people sort of start to underestimate the things he did. You know, people talk about Canelo takes his repertoire from the Mayweather repertoire. No, he doesn't. Mayweather fought ex-champions. This guy's fighting guys who will never even may never smell a belt in their life, and he was fighting them. So. You know, Mayweather, even if you're saying, he didn't fight the very best, he still fought champions and ex-champions, even at 47, even at 54.
Timothy Bradley offered a striking take on the ever-growing Mayweather-Crawford debate, asserting that Terence Crawford possesses the rare skill set needed to truly test Floyd Mayweather. Bradley explained that Crawford's blend of ring IQ, adaptability, punching power, and technical precision makes him one of the few fighters capable of breaking through Mayweather's near-impenetrable defense. He highlighted how Crawford's in-fight adjustments and sense of timing could pose serious challenges, even to Mayweather at his prime. Bradley's remarks underscored just how highly he regards Crawford's abilities, seeing him not only as an elite champion of his era, but as a boxer worthy of standing shoulder to shoulder with the sport's greatest legends.
Oh, absolutely. But Terence Crawford will whoop his ass. He would beat Floyd Mayweather. I'm telling you right now, he will beat Floyd Mayweather too. He will beat him too. He got everything it takes to beat Floyd. Floyd struggled in the first half against Zab Judah. Zab Judah, a damn terrific fighter. Terrific fighter, but he ain't no damn Terence Crawford. Especially from the southpaw position. Floyd didn't like fighting southpaws. Floyd reached with that right hand. You think he's gonna reach against one of the best back foot counterpunchers in the game? He gonna reach with that right hand against Crawford? He gonna get slept reaching with that backhand, the way he reaches with that. That level change backhand he throws too, man, that pull jab he does too, that ain't gonna work. That is not gonna work. Floyd got a 72-inch reach. Yeah, he had quickness, fast reflexes. However, Crawford got all of that too. He got all of that too, and he got a 75-inch reach. Great counterpuncher. Can concentrate all night. Can put pressure on Floyd. He can even invite Floyd in. Yep. I noticed. Floyd's not having success. He started to step on the gas. That's what he do. And he gonna run into problems with Crawford because Crawford hits harder than him.
Within the boxing world, some analysts believe that if Terence Crawford truly wants to surpass Floyd Mayweather's legacy, he needs to face a monumental challenge, someone like Dimitri Bivol. Bivall's combination of size, precision, and dominance at light heavyweight makes him one of the most dangerous opponents Crawford could pursue. Supporters of this idea argue that defeating a prime, technically sharp fighter like Bivall would erase any remaining doubts about Crawford's place in history. Such a win, they claim, wouldn't just add to his resume, it would elevate him into a rare class of champions whose achievements go beyond even the remarkable heights Mayweather reached.
Let's see Bivol Bud next, since Bud's so strong. That's what I said. Why are you talking about 54? None of them dudes gonna get you up. If you truly beat Canelo, why not be the greatest fighter in the existence of boxing? Like, Bivol was the only dude to beat 2 undisputed active champions. Like, he beat Canelo as an undisputed champion, and he beat Better Beef as an undisputed champion. Bivol, historically, might go down as one of the greatest to ever do it. If you beat Bivol and you beat Canelo, I mean, Crawford might have surpassed TBE in Floyd. Floyd has never beaten someone as accomplished as Bivol. And forget about accomplishments like perceived threat. Who's Bivol on Floyd's resume?
Recent reports suggest that Terence Crawford has his sights set on making boxing history by becoming a 6th-division world champion, an accomplishment achieved by only a handful of fighters in the sport's long legacy. Having already proven himself across multiple weight classes and against elite opposition, Crawford's next move reflects his relentless hunger for new challenges. The possibility of him stepping up to the 160-pound middleweight division has sent waves of excitement through the boxing community, as it would pit him against naturally larger, more physically imposing opponents and further test the limits of his greatness.
And Terence Crawford and his team stated that if he does stay in the sport of boxing and he does move down, he's not going to drop down below 160. And so it's being reported that Terence Crawford wants to become a 6th division champion. And a guy that he had his sights set on is now calling him out aggressively and daring him to come down and fight him. And that's Janibek, who is seen to be the best 160-pounder in the world. And he's the unified IBF and WBO 160 middleweight world champion. The middleweight division, 160, is a glamour division. There's the top 3 glamour divisions in the sport of boxing is welterweight, 147. Terence Crawford knocked out every opponent he faced at welterweight and became undisputed there.
Adding even more intrigue to the conversation, Janibek Alimkanyeli has reportedly thrown down the gauntlet, calling out Terence Crawford for a showdown at middleweight. The undefeated champion, whose reputation continues to rise, sees this as a chance to secure a defining victory against one of boxing's most respected names. For Crawford, accepting such a challenge wouldn't just enhance his legacy, it would be an opportunity to demonstrate his superiority across yet another division, whether or not the fight
he faced at welterweight and became undisputed there. The next glamour division is middleweight, 160, that Marvin Hagler, made famous, many middleweights, Sugar Ray Robinson. It's a glamour division, right? Sugar Ray Leonard moved up there, Tommy Hearns, that's a glamour division. And obviously, the division that carries the sport of boxing when it's on top is the heavyweight division. Then you can make a case for the lightweight division, so on and so forth, right? I would say the lightweight division is number 4. So Terence Crawford became a champion at lightweight, right? So with that said, you have Janibek, who's seen as the best fighter there. He's the IBF WBO champion.
One boxing analyst revisited the story of Miguel Silky Smooth Gonzalez, the last man to defeat Terence Crawford back in his amateur days, to highlight just how far Crawford has come. He explained that overcoming Crawford now would require extraordinary preparation and near-perfect execution, much like the challenge of facing Floyd Mayweather at his peak. According to the analyst, Crawford has transformed into one of boxing's most complete and balanced fighters, combining sharp defense with surgical offense. Much like Mayweather once did, Crawford now carries an air of near.
Beat Terence Crawford. What did you do to actually get a win over him?
I agree with Augie. With what he said about Floyd, I'm going to say about Crawford. You got to punch with Crawford. You got to counter Crawford and punch with Crawford. You got to bang the body with Crawford. You got to stay on top of Crawford. You know what I mean? Fight him in that phone booth if you can. As I remember, that's exactly what I did. Crawford, he switches and all that. I don't get that. I don't get out my hookup with all the switching he does. But what tripped me out was he got low in the ring. Like, he kind of cut his height down. I had a field day with that. He should have stayed tall. You know, he cut his height down, and you know, I stayed in his chest. You know, and you gotta counter Crawford. You gotta fight Crawford. And what I always thought about Crawford was he's easily taken out his hookup. I thought, you know, maybe he fought his fight. I thought he fought my fight.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think he grew out of getting out of his hookup. I think
Because,
I think he learned how to just kind of adjust and do what needed to be done more so.
Break that down for us, guys. What do you guys mean the hookup? Break that down for us.
So yeah, you know what?
Getting caught up in a war?
I'll go ahead, Miguel. Like break down Bud getting caught out of his hookup.
Well, you know, with Bud, I thought, you know, but you can easily get Bud to fight you.
Back in the day. Yeah. And you know, Gamboa, you know, showed parts of that. You know, and Bud, all his fights, Bud fights you. Yeah.
Bud gets, you know what I mean? Every fight I see Bud fighting, even still to this day, but I totally understand what Sean's saying. For sure. Bud's the truth. But when I see Bud fighting, you catch him, he want to catch you back. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You fighting Bud, Bud's not running from nobody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's where I felt that I had the upper hand in our competition.
Brian Bomac McIntyre, Terence Crawford's longtime trainer, offered his insights into the dominant win over Canelo Alvarez. He explained that for their team, the fight unfolded almost exactly as planned, thanks to the careful preparation and strategy they had put in long before fight night. McIntyre also addressed the criticism that sometimes surrounds Crawford's career decisions, noting that fans and commentators often try to dictate who he should face next. When those matchups don't happen, accusations of avoidance tend to surface. But according to McIntyre, Crawford isn't interested.
Absolutely, but they're probably thinking the way we were all thinking, that just because of the weight he should be okay because he's the naturally bigger man. But someone like Crawford, obviously, who's done what he's done, you have to be on the top of your game. And I felt with Canelo, it was probably too many single shots that he was throwing, but he wasn't throwing the usual singles and backing it up because he was getting counted. And
he wasn't allowed to.
Yeah, it wasn't just that Canelo was bad is what I'm trying to get at. Crawford was absolutely sensational on the night and the deserved winner and one of the best.
Because the other side of the argument would be that they actually thought they might be getting Crawford at the right time because they hadn't fought for a while and had some particular surgery. I mean, did it go, as I said to you at the top of the show, Bomac, I mean, I watched you in the corner and I thought it was a exercise in how a corner should be conducted in terms of the communication, the coherency of it, and the discipline behind who spoke, when they spoke, what they said, and what needed to be heard. Did the fight go exactly as you had mapped out in your mind and what you thought would manifest itself? Is this your last fight? You know, it's really annoyed me with Max Kellerman going in and making that the stop part of his questions. Do you think, Bomac, that he gets the recognition and the appreciation that his achievements merit?
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Why do you think that is?
I think because of the simple fact that Terence is his own man. You know, he knows the path that he wants to go. And some of the boxing critics or some of the boxing people around boxing figure he should go this route or he should go that route. When he didn't go that route and he went this route, he's ducking the other middleweights. I mean, the other welterweight. So he's ducking the 140 pounder. No, he's not ducking them. He's just not available. Well, he should have went this way. I didn't want to go that way. I wanted to go this way because that's the way I wanted to go.
Boxing analyst Tony Jeffries added his perspective to the ongoing conversation by breaking down what made Floyd Mayweather such a dominant force in his era. He explained that Mayweather's brilliance extended far beyond his defensive mastery. It was his impeccable footwork, timing, and ability to control distance that truly set him apart. Jeffries emphasized that Floyd's movement inside the ring was so precise and calculated that even the best fighters struggled to find openings. He also reminded fans that Mayweather's resume includes victories over some of the greatest names in the sport, further cementing his legacy as one of boxing's most technically gifted champions. Jeffries' insights offered balance to the debate, acknowledging that while Terence Crawford's